Hi everyone, I'm Joanne Gwartney. I'm the creator of Dralovian Warriors. I'm also the voice actor for Barbara Landon. I do basically everything for DW except, of course, the voice acting and the sound effects. So today is the 1 year anniversary of this episode, of episode 1. It's also the 1 year anniversary of Dralovian Warriors as a YouTube web series. So today's its birthday, so I thought as a little bit of a celebration, I would go back through the first episode, react to it, um, cringe at the um, cringe at the contents, if you will, and kind of just maybe explain some things that um, have not yet been clarified that won't be clarified in the show. So I guess let's just get into it. Um, so, 1 second. That little bit of this part where she goes across the motorcycle, and goes across on the motorcycle. She So I don't know. You might notice that the trees they kind of like warp a little bit. Um, that's because when I was doing this at first, I the background and the um the characters, it was all on one layer, and I didn't really plan ahead for Alexis going across the screen. So when I had to move her, I kind of had to erase the background, and for whatever reason I just didn't copy and paste the background from another frame onto the background so it wouldn't look like it's doing that. And there are little cases in even episode 2 and 3 where you'll see the background kind of shift, but it's not as noticeable as this. This is kind of the big one. But so right there, the motorcycle like goes it goes off the little cliff, and I think physics wise momentum would carry Alexis with the motorcycle, um but I didn't want her to get injured too badly, so I just made her crash into the water. I could have probably had her like kind of have a bit more of like a rather than a but um you know so the reason David is shirtless in this scene, besides like him being, taking a shower or taking a bath in the stream, is to show off these burn marks to the audience. No character acknowledges it as of yet, but those burn marks are kind of very important to him. And it's never really clarified that they're burn marks. It's just like, what's that weird? Is that a birthmark? Why is that on his back? They're burn marks. Um, and uh, I think there's a part in episode 1 where Alexis sees the burn marks, but she doesn't comment on it, and it's such a like a split second because I didn't do that part right. Um, that it doesn't she doesn't really acknowledge it, but she does look, and she's like, "There's no."
All messed
This
up.
is So there are two things I gotta mention here. The GPS, it really does show the time, the date and time and stuff of of when the story is taking place. But there are some things that maybe don't make sense. Like, it looks really futuristic for a wristwatch made in the 90s. So, maybe this is like a weird alternate reality, or maybe we're in another world, which we'll see later on in the episode. Yeah, we are in a different world. It's called, we'll get there. But another thing we have to mention is you might notice that the black bars, they disappear like just in between frames, and that is because when I was making episode 1, I was making it on my old laptop, which was like it it was a struggle to do anything on that laptop. um and I didn't have enough memory to like do everything in one part and like one little like animation file. So I split it up into parts, and there were like 4 parts. Um, and for part one, for whatever reason, like the can or the the size of the video I had um was smaller than the aspect ratio for like a YouTube video. Um, so it did not fit within those fine. So there were like little black bars. But for the rest of episode one, I guess I realized that it was, or maybe it was an accident. I think it was literally an accident that I like figured that out after the fact. But um, you know. And then for episode two, of course, I guess I had forgotten about it as well. Because I made episode two like right after I made episode one. It just took a while to get it out. Um, but yeah. And then episode three, it originally had the black bars, but I just decided to like expand it so it would be consistent with episode one. But it looks a little bit weird. It's a little bit noticeable, but episode four onward, it's fine. Let's continue.
A lot of stuff I don't know.
That
I do
backpack,
know that
by the way, was so annoying because I kept forgetting that the backpack was there. So I'd have to go back through every single frame that Alexis was in to re-add in the backpack. So this is kind of an important flyer that you should probably remember. Like anything I go out of my way to write, it's kind of important. So keep that in mind. Keep that flyer in mind. There are little clues and hints to things that'll come in the future, but you know, it.
Can you understand me?
Rose is supposed to have earrings.
Yes,
I don't know why she doesn't have them here.
Giving up the pieces misplaced.
She's teaching a very important lesson right there, by the way.
What are you doing?
The difference between the theirs.
Why are you have a home?
She's missing ears there. So, she, Rose and ears, it's a thing. That house, I love that house. It's just a rectangle. It's
Rose.
Incredible. With a little bit alone, I wrote it fairly fast, and I think I've said this somewhere, but I wrote it fairly fast, then I recorded the demo and sent it to Jeffrey, who voices Rose, Bay, who voices Alexis, and Jed, who voices David. And we had like a directing session. And you know what? They sound great. They sound incredible, and I'm so thankful for their contribution to the song. I'm gonna be real, real frank though. My mixing job and my composing job on that it didn't do them justice. There's a lot of mixing issues with the duet part with Alexis and David, and but overall um I like it. I do like it. And the second thing is that Verum, the one who voices King Zuns in episode 2, when we were watching this episode together, he mentioned that the little do thing sounds like Terraria music. So I'm gonna leave you with that.
I'm just a little bit alone.
And then the iconic frame. Here's the thing. Here's the the tea that we all just really want to know. So I don't know why the background of this is like painted with like no outlines. I do know that it was like on another layer, and I just kind of went like this because when I did the line work, of course, I had just those two on the log, but I didn't have any kind of background. I think I might have planned this after the fact. So I kind of just did this like very quickly. If I were to do this again, I would have done the background outlining, I guess, the line work on the background, because that's, you know, the Dralovian Warriors style. That's how it's been consistently through the next few episodes. This is the only time it kind of is weird like that. But let's continue on.
What's the point of feeling something that makes you feel unwell? It's swell.
Dispel. Okay. Obviously, special thanks to Jeffrey, Dead, and Vay, who you know, did the voice acting this episode. They also, of course, performed "Live Alone." The song is available on Bandcamp. It's also available on Spotify, YouTube, and YouTube Music, I guess. I don't know if that's, you can probably find on YouTube Music. You'll find on YouTube, period, under Dralovian Warriors cast topic, I think. But you'll find any music under Dralovian Warriors cast on like whatever streaming platform or shop platform you buy or stream from.
I cannot tell who wants to fall.
Along with the other, you know, Lost in Translation, you can find the credits theme, which is called Inhale Exhale. You can find the demo version of A Little Bit Alone on there as well. So subscribe to the Patreon if you want. If you have any interest at all in this little show that I'm making, this wacky little show that I'm making, you know, it's not great. It's mediocre at best, but you know, if you do want to become a patron, there's the dollar tier and there's the $5 tier. There's also a $15 tier, but it doesn't really have that many rewards unless you want to see episodes early. That's like the only reward it has right now. But the $5 tier, you get access to the feed, which has like demos and like instrumentals, I guess, and extra content, bloopers. I think the latest thing that's up there is the Lost in Translation demo, which is, you know, my voice singing the song. And if you go there now, the full unedited version of this video will be up there. So you could hear me rambling and just staring at the screen in silence if you want, if you're into that. So that's really it for this. I hope this was okay. This was satisfying enough. And you know, happy birthday to Dralovian Warriors. This is going to become a series probably, this reacting to Dralovian Warriors. But it's going to be on the 1-year anniversary of each episode. So the next episode will be in May. So, you know, don't look forward to this too much, or don't, you know, like wait around for this too much, because it's going to be a bit. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you know, leave them in the comments. I'll respond probably, or at least like your comment and pretend I'm gonna respond, but never do. So goodbye.